Hi guys, and welcome to Freckle Finance. I thought I would do kind of a more light-hearted video today as well. A lot of people don't actually remain pedestrians as much as I do in the winter, and I thought I would show you kind of, first of all, how this saves me a lot of money, but what I use to be able to survive in the winters. It does get to -30. It gets below -30 with wind chill around here, and that's Celsius. So it definitely gets very cold. Below -30, I usually will not, walk. It is too cold. It's like death. But before that point, if you have good enough winter clothes and winter items, then you shouldn't have that much of an issue walking outside. So even though I live in a large city with public transit, it doesn't necessarily save me time to take public transit the full way, as well as just standing still, freezing cold at a subway stop, not the subway, but at a streetcar or a bus stop is not very much fun, and you don't always have access to indoor areas to stand. So I just prefer to walk to subway and walk from the subway when I'm going to and from work, and that means I walk about 40 minutes each way for work all year round. So even in the Great White North, you can be a full-on pedestrian. So I will wear varying degrees of these items. Some items I won't be wearing until certain temperatures and others, but this is all what I would wear at -30. Now, unless it's very cold or there's snow out, I usually do not wear my winter boots just because they're really heavy and clunky, but if it's cold, I wear them, and if it's just snowy because they have really good grip. So let's get started showing you the items. So the first and very important big item to have is a good winter coat. So here's what it looks like. I have no idea if this does anything for warmth, this inside portion. However, it is very warm. And one of the big things about it is it has this part here that clips together on the other side. So when you're walking, I'm trying to show you this. Right here, so when you're walking and it's windy out, right at the bottom of your coat, you can clip that on together and the wind won't be able to go up your coat as it often does. And it also has little things for your hands as well, if you can see, and that helps keep the wind and cold air from getting inside the coat. So this coat is sufficient enough for me. I do not need a Canada Goose coat. Nobody in Canada actually needs a Canada Goose coat. You just wear a sweater underneath and it's fine. So this coat, when I purchased it, now I did buy it from like Marshalls or Winners, one of those types of places, cost me about $150, but I bought it 3 years ago. I mean, it probably could use a wash, but otherwise it is in good shape. So obviously, second item is a hat. I prefer to wear a hat aside from wearing earmuffs, just because it does keep your full head warm and kind of gets to the back of your neck. So when it's cold and windy out, earmuffs, not the most effective thing. So gloves, I personally like to wear gloves that I can still move my hands in. So that would, or I guess these would be mittens, not gloves. If you're playing in snow, you probably wouldn't use these gloves, but for keeping warm, it's fine as well. You can take your gloves and put them inside that little thing I showed you on my coat near where the hands come out, and that will really prevent the wind from coming up and can keep your hands really very warm, and you're probably not going to be texting that much or anything. However, I really am interested in those tech gloves that you can text. I may buy some this year and purchase them, but so far this year I have bought no winter items because I really don't actually need any of them. If I got that, that would just be so I can text outside, which honestly is not the most necessary thing. So as well, a good pair of winter boots. Now these are heavy duty boots. I think I probably spent $75 on these boots. For all the items here, I spent about $300, and I've had most of them for 3 years. So that works out to be $100 a year. Clearly way cheaper than a car. It's way cheaper than transit. And honestly, the exercise is nice. So the one thing about these is I'm not sure anymore. I think that they're good to negative some crazy degrees Celsius. So they are warm on the inside and they prevent water from coming in. And why I thought I would show boots is because even people in Canada, when it's slushy or snowy out, they will wear UGG style boots, or you know, those boots that are made of fabric and they get wet and your socks get wet and you're stuck. If you're going to work, you get stuck wearing wet socks or whatever all day, but these keep your feet dry and warm. So you want to have a good pair of boots, but that doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money. So as well, a scarf. Now I will admit, I almost never wear a scarf. My coat zips up to like near my neck, and when it's cold out, I pop my face in up to here. However, what a scarf is for is when it's very windy and very, very cold. Now I have walked outside when it is under negative 30, and you know, you get you got your hat down to here, and you put the scarf up here, and you're basically just got your eyeballs exposed and just a little skin around there. When it gets really cold, that's what you got to do. But a scarf will keep you warm. And this honestly this is just a little Walmart scarf. I think I got it with a pair of mitts. Maybe I was gifted them for Christmas. I don't think they were that much money at all. For sure, you could get warmer than this if you wanted to. So that's one thing. And I just want to say that I know people will say, oh, it's really cold outside, I can't walk. But honestly, up until a certain point, you will adjust the temperature. Now, I don't think you can ever adjust the temperatures like negative 30. However, you will adjust. You will go out the first day and it'll be kind of cold. The second day, it won't feel as bad. And eventually, it's fine. And actually, if you're not from a colder climate like Canada or just up north, northern countries, you actually can be like cold in one part of your body and sweating in other parts of your body because you're like too warm some places, but you do acclimate to the weather. That is something that happens in the summer where, you know, you hear Canadians, we're like wearing shorts and it feels really cold to everyone else because it's just been so cold for us that it feels really warm. So the more you're outside in the temperature, the more you adjust. So keep that in mind. Another thing, especially if I don't want to wear those boots because, as I said before, they can be really clunky. I can't walk as fast, which kind of means you're outside a bit more. Getting these, this is one pair of socks, and I just bought these from like a place like Walmart or whatever. These are very, very thick socks that I can wear with my running shoes. I could wear them with my boots, but it's pretty much not necessary. But yeah, you can just wear these when it's really cold out and you don't have snow. Usually though, when it's very, very cold out, we do have snow, or you just want to wear your boots anyways in case it might snow or whatever. But yeah, very, very thick pair of socks. It's almost the size of my head, as you can see. But these will keep you warm. And the last item, and I think that if you go skiing or have ever gone, you've ever gone skiing, sorry, just one second, they're inside out, so I'm going to turn them the right way. You will have heard of these. If you're from southern countries and you don't really get cold much, you may have never heard of these, but these are long johns, also known as long underwear. And so this is what protects your legs because you can buy snow pants, but if you're not playing in the snow, it's clunky, kind of not really what adults wear if they're not playing out in the snow generally. But yes, these are an extra layer. They're called long underwear, but you generally wear them over your first pair of underwear, under your pants. And it's just an extra layer. It's very thin and it's breathable, but it does keep you warm. And so these are not the most expensive pair you can buy by any means. First of all, the fact that they are bright pink and orange is because this was probably not a popular selling color, and it was the only one that had a far cheaper price, so it was probably selling. But honestly, it's under your pants. Nobody's going to see it, so who cares that they're bright color? And honestly, I kind of like them a bit. But there are higher levels of warmth. You can get ones that handle a lot colder weathers than this one does, but I just won't go out in those weather anyway, and they're really expensive, and those days happen almost rarely. And that's another point to make. Now, even when you live in Canada, people forget it does not get freezing cold most of the time. Some winters it doesn't even get that cold. So it's fine most of the time to walk outside in the winter as long as you properly prepare yourself. It's just not always that cold. And when those odd days it's freezing cold, fine, take a break, take public transit. If you can get a carpool or anything, take it. So as I said, all those items are you know, it cost me about $300. I don't know exact prices, but I definitely didn't spend a lot of money on anything, and I tried to find sales for everything, and I've had most of the items for 3 years. I think the long underwear I've had for, this is my second year, and I have worn it this year, and they're still in perfectly fine condition. But think about that. If you amortize that over 3 years, that's $100 a year that I have spent. You know how much it costs to have a car just so you don't go outside? And honestly, even in the winter, it can be really fun to have snow falling on your hair, or, well, for some girls, they don't want snow on their hair because it ruins it. It's going to be back. But you know, snow when it's snowing is beautiful, and you can't experience that without going outside. So I hope I've changed some of your minds about walking outside in the winter. It's really not as bad as it seems. I've been doing it for 4 years. It's not that bad, and it definitely can save you a ton of money. But honestly, if you really absolutely hate it and it makes your life miserable, don't do it. I just don't have a big deal with it. But if you want, or if you think it's great, it can save you a ton of money. So if you like this video, you want to see more videos like this or any more finance topics, please click subscribe, as I will be uploading videos regularly. Have a good day. Bye.